have one of these, or if you had a disorder, you'd be much like this fellow.
Yeah, without the hippocampus, you would have no memories. You would have no existence. Your whole life would be for nothing. Everything you do and have ever done would be forgotten immediately. You could never love a woman.
And never love you.
Never enjoy yourself. Your life would be terrible.
Yeah!
Good thing we have those.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah!
Yeah! Anyway,
Yeah.
as we were saying, if we didn't have one of those, we'd be really lonely people. And also, there's a cerebral cortex in your brain, which forms the thin outer layer of the largest part of the forebrain, which is called the cerebrum. The cerebrum consists of two large masses, somewhat like this mass, which is large, and this mass, two large masses.
Two large masses.
As you can see. And the right and left cerebral hemispheres. So this would be the right hemisphere.
Actually, that'd be the left for the
On
camera.
those guys.
It's true.
Anyway,
Left and right. And each of those, they're joined together by the corpus callosum, which kind of looks like this.
they will connect together, kind of like how you connect when you put your glasses on, so to be a successful person later in life.
Yep, it would.
It connects the two hemispheres together, which forms a pathway by which the hemispheres share information with each other. So, that way...
Wait, you're talking about the corpus callosum,
Yeah,
correct?
they share
the
information.
fibers that connect the two masses together of the cerebrum, the hemispheres.
Yes, the two together.
You remember that study, kids, right?
Yeah!
You sure do.
That's great. Anyway, the cortex also controls voluntary movement and states of motivation and emotional arousal and processing of sensory information. So if you didn't have one of those, you'd be much like my friend over here. That'd be terrible. Anyway, each hemisphere of the cerebral cortex is divided into 4 parts, also known as the lobes of them. As shown here, it's like 4 lobes. Kinda like this.
The 4 lobes work
Make-
together. There's the
To make
parietal lobe, personally my favorite. The frontal lobe, that's your favorite, isn't it?
Yes, it is actually.
There's the temporal lobe, and then there's the occipital lobe.
Now, let me tell you what each of these lobes does, so you're not confused and become a dum-dum.
That'd be bad.
The occipital lobe processes visual information, giving rise to sensations of vision. So, if you didn't have that lobe, you'd be blind, like Louis Armstrong. Or was that other guy?
You're thinking of Stephen Hawking.
Or Stevie Wonder? Who knows? There's also the parietal lobes, which process information relating to sensations of touch, pressure, temperature, hot and cold, pain, and body movement. So without that, you couldn't feel a thing, like the touch of a nice woman. The frontal lobes control motor responses and higher mental functions, such as thinking, planning, problem solving, decision making, and processing and acting upon stored memories. So, let's say if you have a decision, but you picked the wrong one because you don't have the memory from your frontal lobe to know what to do. Good thing you have one, because then you learn from your mistakes, unlike some people. There's also the temporal lobes, which process auditory information giving rise to sensations of sound. So without temporal lobes, my life would be a waste, because I want to be a musician. Anyway, now that we've gone over through the lobes and all their important functions, we're going to go to the frontal lobes, by the way. I forgot to mention one thing. Since they're located in the front part of your brain, it gives you that self-awareness. It makes you just, like, lets you know that like, a color is there, like this color. You know it's this color because you see it with the frontal lobe in a way. But besides that, there's also the motor cortex, a region of the frontal lobe that involves regulating body movement. So the frontal lobe actually has 3 sections. I just said the motor cortex, which makes you move like this. Anyway, there's also the temporal lobes, the parts of the cerebral cortex that lie beneath and are somewhat behind the frontal lobe. So it's like a weird kind of there thing, as you can see. And they process auditorial things, like sound. And one final thing,
association.
Areas. The great majority of cortex consists of
association
areas, which are found in each lobe. Each one has one of these areas.
Every single lobe.
These areas are more highly developed in humans than in other organisms. They are responsible for performing higher mental functions, such as piecing together sensory input to form meaningful perceptions of the world around you.
Here's a cool lab to see the comparison of different sizes of brains of different animals.
Anyway, that was a good demonstration, as you can see. It also helps us. It also helps. One more thing, to let you know before we leave you for a final goodbye. They also help us solve math problems and understand speech and many everyday things.
Let's have our good friend Mohinder Bogindi take us through a complex math equation to help show us how his part of the brain helps him. What part of the brain is that again?
The
association. The association areas, that's right.
Of each lobe.
As you can see, if you take this 99 cents, and you add it to this $5.99, you get 69 cents.
Wow, what a math problem that was.
Whoa, I'm pooped.
They also help you plan activities, like some people can't though.
Some people can't plan.
And the creating masterworks of architecture. And
architecture? What's architecture?
Like a structure, like a house.
A house?
Yeah. Like
Are you sure you're not thinking of architecture?
Architecture, thank you, sir. Just like my friend who doesn't live in one because he's homeless.
Miguel Mayorga.
Anyway, they also help us even compose the next hit song.
Like my good friend, Jonas Brothers.
Good joke.
Let's sit here and enjoy one of their more popular songs.
So now that we went through the brain structures, we hope that you can understand more about the brain and know its functions and sections. We hope you've learned a lot from this video, and we're now going to depart. Have a good life. Better than mine.
I want to kill myself.